Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show. Meet the trusted experts who will give you straight answers and will help guide you on the path of later life care. Now, here's your host, founder, caregiver, and CEO, Suzanne Newman.
And welcome everyone to Answers for Elders Radio Network, heard across the USA and on your favorite podcast platform. You know, here at Answers for Elders, we always strive to bring you the cream of the crop of people that can be there for you as you're navigating a very difficult journey. And there's nothing in my mind when I look back in my years of taking care of my mom, probably the most difficult and just overwhelming situation was when it came time to moving her. And during the course of her, as she declined, we not only had to move her once, but we had to move her twice, and then again 3 times. And the hard part for families is there's all kinds of questions. Everything is overwhelming. And I have a very special friend to share with all of you, because this is someone that took care of me and my mom, and I am very, very just honored to have him as part of our team, Mr. Sean Joseph, the CEO of Jordan River Moving and Storage, which is a nationwide amazing moving organization that but specializes in working with seniors. And Sean, welcome to Answers for Elders.
Hi, Suzanne. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you on, because my personal story is I remember my mom living in Anacortes. She was overwhelmed. She had a 2,200 square foot house, and she had been in assisted living, in a nursing home. She'd fallen and she was in a skilled nursing facility, and we had to move her belongings from her home in Anacortes and set up a place for her in the Linwood area, which is Seattle, which is about a 2-hour drive from where I grew up. And I remember this logistical mess. We had family members that didn't know what to do. And I remember, Sean, this is years ago, I picked up the phone and I called you, and you guys absolutely rocked. You took care of everything, and everything was handled with care. And the thought process and the respect that you gave every single thing that you dealt with, I have just a personal thank you, overwhelming. So first of all, big thank you for everything that you do.
This is, for us, it's part of what we do on a daily basis. For us, it's normal. What I was shocked with all the process is when you were into the process, and I will never forget, you told me, after this move, I'm leaving the corporate world and I'm going to handle the help for the elders, because I find out there's nobody dedicated for them, and there's no place to find information. Because I find you for the move, it was easy because I know you, but the rest of the stuff that involve around it, and it's amazing because you did it just that. After, and we're talking today when you are advocating and you're helping and you establish something, but it was, what we did for us was like regular stuff. What came out of all of this is amazing, and that's why we are here.
Sean, I know that you handle every move like that. My point is being a family member and having to work with different people in my family and having to deal with the overwhelm of the situation. And my mother was upset because she didn't want to get rid of her house. She was in denial about a lot of the things that she was going through. And I just remember, your guys, they went all the way up to Anacortes, which was 2 hours. They picked every single thing up. They were patient because we didn't have it all together, because we were still trying to figure it out. And they just, it was perfect. And I sit back and I think, I could have been, I hear stories about movers, other companies, and I think of, things get broken. They don't handle things with care. There's no real respect to, maybe it doesn't have any wealth value, but it has sentimental value. And you guys, it doesn't matter. You still handle the things that have sentimental value just as important as an heirloom that might have, much higher value, or like an antique or everything like that. And that's the thing I think that is so important. And I think the other side of it was about your organization was you took time to listen. Because then when you're saying I left the corporate world and I started this, it's like I talked to you about what I was dealing with and you listened and you processed it. And this was a long time ago. This is in 2008. So you've been my dear friend for a very long time. And I'm so grateful to now have you part of the Answers for Elders team, because moving is daunting. It's difficult for an individual that has, everything together. But if you're downsizing a senior and you're dealing with a house that somebody's been living in for, 50 years sometimes, you probably walk into a lot of situations where, people are overwhelmed. They don't even know where to start. So I'm curious if we could start, Sean, from the beginning. How do you start to move?
First of all, like I always say, knowledge and preparation is priceless. We have the knowledge, how we prepare for the move, how we prepare the member for the move. So it starts always with the in-home estimate. We would like visually to see what we're dealing with. Always, you have to go out and visually inspect. We don't like the information over the phone. We will ask the people, please welcome us to the house so we can do it's free.
Yeah.
Just that time to take a look. And I remember when I sent the outside estimator to move and he come and back to the office, he took a picture. He said, I don't know how to even look at this. It's the house is full. The lady, she's a senior, elderly. She doesn't want to get rid of anything.
Yeah.
How we
How are you going to put
this?
anything into I remember my mom moved from 2,200 square feet down to about 700, 650, her first move. There's no way she's going to get all this stuff. And she was, because she had a little bit of dementia, she had no concept of, I'll just move all my living room furniture in. Well, Mom, your living space is going to be like a size of a small bedroom now. So we have to rethink things. And to work with a family, do you find time, or do you educate families sometime on what that process has to look like? So if you're moving into 650 square feet, do you spend time talking to them a little bit about how much they have to pare down?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we do in a estimate. It's when we visually see what's in there. Okay, what are there? I mean, we suggest to the family about downsizing, what needs to be done. Because we ask, where are you moving to? Then we find out they're moving for a much smaller place. We, as experienced people, we know it's not going to fit, or we're going to build wall of boxes all around your walls around the house. You won't be able to move, and you might fail, and you get injured. Why do you want to do all of that? So we talk about what the step of downsizing. We are always willing to help them sort through the item. If there's family member, daughters, sons, anybody that would like to take item, we will help them in a process. We will sort through the item between the family member if necessary. We always think, but the planning, Suzanne, the planning is the most important. And to establish trust. We established trust. The lady that I told you that was completely full, the house was, we couldn't move, anybody could move. I asked, can we establish trust? Yes, because she find us from referral. And what we needed to do, we broke the move into few days, and we took every day, we back and took the item to keep it on the truck, but in a warehouse away from the elderly. They're hard for them, because they like the stuff around. They always see that you establish trust with the family much easier. And that's what needs to be done when you're planning and downsizing, because the downsizing is crucial. A lot of them moving for a very small place, and you try to, in a lot of places, circumstances, to copy the place for them. Like you say, if they have dementia or stuff like that, you have to do it and try to make it as comfortable as possible. so they can move around. They need to be able to move around. So it's the planning and downsizing is very, very important.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard for the people, and we understand. We're not trying to be pushy about it.
Yeah.
Although we sometimes I strongly feel about items that, but it doesn't. I mean, but I will never say that. I will suggest in a nice way and try to
Yeah.
make
It
sense
suggests.
but I totally understand that people sometimes can let
Yeah.
things go.
Well, and it's interesting because I know from my mom, and I've told this story before on air. And I remember going down in her basement, and she had like the storage area, right? And she had boxes galore in there. And I found probably 20 boxes from myself and my brother of every single picture that I drew in elementary school, every piano recital, every, play that I was in, every concert that I performed in, and anything that I did, because I was a music major and all these things that I did in my younger years. She had all of this stuff. Well, I don't want that stuff, right? She did, right? But I had to find a way. Mom didn't, like, I don't want to get rid of that. She was a mom, right? Those things were like benchmarks of her life. So we had to figure out ways that we could take, what we did is we took pictures of everything that she wanted to keep. And then we just made a picture roll, and we actually got one of those rotating digital frames and what we did is and it was in her bedroom, and she would turn it on every once in a while, and she could see those things. And it was important for her. It was like they were benchmarks of her life, right? We had found pictures from many trips that she took. And those are the things that you just can't take those things with you. And so finding an outside party like you that can say, there's different options, there's different ways in which you can do things. And these are, we have the gateway to the world, basically. And I would say that that's true, right, Sean?
That's correct. But again, the foundation for everything
Yes.
is the in-home estimate.
Yes, in-home estimate. And
In-home estimate.
absolutely.
You
And meet
have
with
because
meet.
it's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
It's important not only from the aspect of downsizing and things, but also that's guarantee.
Yes. Yes.
The estimate and things like that. But
There's no gotcha charges in the way.
Exactly. We want to come take a look. Then when we can advise, then we can be part of your move. Just over the phone, not good enough.
Perfect. And Sean, how do people reach you?
On our website, of course, jordanrivermoving.com. And we are on the web, we are on Facebook, we are on Nextdoor, we are everywhere.
And you serve families nationwide.
Absolutely, everywhere. So Jordan River, just so you know, 48 state, Canada bonded carrier, and VOCC. Someone wants to go overseas, come back from overseas. We handle this all, everything.
That's amazing.
We are TSP approved transportation, service provider for the military. So that's what we do, full packing on every single move. So we become expert in a lot of
absolutely
areas.
Well, in our next segment, you and I are going to talk about packing, aren't we?
Absolutely. Which is
all right. Sean and I, we're going to be back for segment number 2 right after this. We at Answers for Elders thank you for listening. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.